What's up guys, I'm Vince and this is VinceVentures. This is a story of how my brother and I decided to drive to the North Cape, discovered the beauty of Scandinavia, got stuck in a storm and nearly had to turn around right before the end, but still had a lot of fun. In the summer of 2022, my brother and I embarked on an adventure to drive our late grandfather's 1996 Renault Megane Coach 1.6e to Europe's most northern point. I always wanted to do a real road trip, but always thought that I would need a modern and breakdown-safe car to do that. But when I saw a video from Harry's garage driving his eBay-bought Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2 to the Arctic Circle in winter, I thought, well, I don't have a Rolls-Royce and winter would be way too dangerous and cold, but we do have an old, rather crappy car and some time off in summer. My parents, however, wanted to scrap the car for a longer time now for it not being reliable and regularly breaking down, so overheating, and it had rusted shocks and often electrical malfunctions, but naturally we decided to give it a spin around the continent. Now that it was summer, we've decided to not only go to the Arctic Circle like Harry's garage, but to go all the way to the North Cape. Our grandfather bought the car new in 1996, and when he unexpectedly passed away a few years ago, us grandchildren started using the car for small commutes. But it's maybe been out of Germany only a few times in its lifetime, and in the last years of our grandfather's life it has only been driven around 500 kilometers each year. So after I came up with the idea of driving what would possibly be the last and only long road trip of this car, I asked my brother to join me, and together we convinced our parents to keep the car a little longer, and thankfully they agreed. The usual reaction to our plan for the next half a year was people saying things like, "You want to drive where? In that? Well, good luck," and rarely words of encouragement. I guess you have to be a little crazy to do this. My brother and I started planning the route and decided quickly on not driving the fastest route through Sweden both ways, but to take the more scenic route through Norway on the way towards the North Cape. And that was the best decision we made. Finding enough time turned out to be a problem, but in the end we managed to find 14 days late in August. The mapped out route was about 7,100 kilometers. We tried to split it up in a way we still could do a little bit of sightseeing each day and not to be completely exhausted of driving hours and hours every single day. Well, we tried. After breaking down a week before the departure and getting the rear wheel bearings changed, we embarked. After a year or so, I finally found the time to go over the video and photo material and decided to put together a couple of videos. So join us over the next couple of weeks reliving this beautiful trip, all the hundreds of kilometers through Europe's most extraordinary sceneries, the best and the worst camping spots we found along the way, and our top recommendations on what to do in Norway, where to stay, the best driving roads, and much more. A little spoiler alert, we made it in the end and arrived safely and exhausted back home, overwhelmed with all the things that we've seen. Sometimes I forget about the trip for a second when I drive around in the car, and when I then remember, I feel a little crazy that we did this. Since the car is still running, we are thinking of doing another big road trip very soon. Maybe, but just maybe, I would really like to copy another one of Harry's Metcalf's from Harry's Garage's road trip by driving to the Sahara Desert in Morocco in this beautiful little Renault. Since Harry did this in his Ferrari Testarossa and our grandfather sometimes jokingly called his red Renault his little Ferrari, I think it would only be appropriate to go there next. I hope you enjoyed watching and stay tuned for next week's video, where you will see the start of our journey, passing through Germany, Denmark and entering Norway for the first time in our lives. And if you liked this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and see you next week.